Hi, my name is Jonas. Today I'm going to take a look at and create some sounds with a new interesting VSTI from Vital Audio. The Vital is a spectral warping wavetable synth that as its main features boast visual feedback and very flexible modulation options. Let's see what we can do. Let's go straight to the one really unique feature, Text-to-wavetable. In the wave editor you can basically type in any text and a wavetable will generate it based on this. As you can hear with the default settings, it only loops through a very short fragment of the wave. To get this synth to really talk, you'll have to use an envelope with an attack that basically matches the length of your text, like this, and modulate the waveframe.
Resistance is futile. Resistance is futile. Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile.
And then you can start having fun with morphing the wavetable in any way you want.
Resistance is futile. 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 Resistance is futile.
Really fun. I'm using the free version of Vital here, and there you are limited to 5 text-to-wavetable requests per day. So if you want unlimited daily requests, you will have to use the Pro version.
Resistance is futile.
Cannot get enough of this. Now let's see if we can do some more traditional sounds as well. Creating a kick, for example, is quite easy as you can modulate the pitch with all this routing. As a basic waveform, you take a sine wave and then you modulate the pitch with a very short envelope with a short decay. And then you get this bass of every 808 or 909 kick. Add some noise here, which we also modulate. We'll modulate the level in this case with a very short envelope. And then you get this click or this noise element to the sound. And then you can have fun with it. There are lots of effects in the synth, so I'll use a multiband compressor to accentuate some things. Maybe a little bit of distortion. And the distortion here also has a way to downsample, for example, or do this kind of bit crushing effects. A little bit more EQ, and then some reverb maybe. Doing an FM style punchy bass is also quite easy. So I started from this modern pulse oscillator. And I modulated it a little bit with this wave morph FM oscillator option. Then we'll add in just a pulse, which is detuned, 16 voices on unison detuned, so it gets really wide and fat. Of course, quite a short envelope, and also an envelope that is modulating the filter cutoff, so it closes down really fast. And then finally, to add some more bottom to it, a basic sine wave, which is played quite low. And as you can hear, it's a very nice punchy FM style bass now. Because we have all the options here to create some CS80 like path, let's try to do that. So the trick here is to use a square wave and modulate the pulse width. You can do that with an LFO, of course. So with this LFO, I modulate the waveframe. Really cool, you can see the modulation happening in real time. That's one of the main features, of course, of this synth. We'll double it with another oscillator, also modulating the pulse width. And we pitch it down 2 octaves. I already set up the envelope of the amplitude to be a bit more pad-like, so slow attack and then a very slow release. Another envelope with a very slow attack and slow release is used to modulate the filter cutoff. So then the filter opens really nice. Something else that I do is use LFO1 to modulate the fine pitch of both oscillators to give this vibrato effect. It has a little bit of delay, so initially it's quite straight on and then the vibrato slowly comes in. Gives it a little bit more feeling. What I also added is use the velocity to modulate the filter cutoff as well and the level. So if you play harder, it will open the filter a little bit more. And you could already hear it maybe. I also used the aftertouch to modulate the modulation amount of LFO1. So that's the vibrato. So if I apply some aftertouch, the vibrato comes in a lot stronger. That's a typical CS80 effect. And then all that is left is adding a bit of chorus, reverb, good nice long one, and there you have your Vangelis. Really nice. I created this other pad based on a saw wave. It's a bit similar to the previous one, but because it's a saw wave and I will be adding a sine wave that gets its wave frame modulated, so all these interesting harmonics will start developing and keep on moving in the background. So first the saw wave, and we'll also modulate the pitch again with some delay to get this vibrato effect. And I also already added some effects like reverb and phaser to give it a little bit more movement and depth, of course. Sounds like this. And then an interesting thing is to add a second oscillator. We'll use the harmonic series oscillator there, or wavetable, and then we'll modulate the waveframe with an LFO. If you hear it solo, it sounds like this. So as you can hear, it's this all the time moving, evolving harmonics. And I upped the stereo effect, and you can see it in the waveframe quite well what is happening. It's actually modulating it a little bit differently for left and right, so you get this very wide stereo field. Combine it with the saw wave wavetable, and then you can get this very nice pads. I call it undercurrent because it's a basic pad, and then all these harmonics start happening in the background. Really nice. With all these wavetable morphing and creative modulation options, we can also create, of course, very modern, harsh synthesizer sounds like this. What we are doing here basically is, well, use two oscillators, two wavetables. The first one is an alternating harmonics wavetable. It's detuned quite a lot, so it uses 4 voices that are detuned 20%. And then you can basically create any LFO shape you want. In this case, it's a kind of a sidechain option that's a preset. So first it's flat and then it ramps up quite quickly. So it's a bit like a square, but it has this slide to it. If you use it to modulate the pitch, it will slide up 1 octave, drop down immediately, slide up again. Anyways, you get this sound. And then I used another wavetable, the pink noise, to just add some more metal grittiness to it, to make it really nice and dirty and add a lot of high harmonics. It sounds really nasty, but also really nice. With all these unison options, we can also actually quite easily create this classic super saw sound. So we take one oscillator, put all the voices to the max, so that's 16, detune them quite a lot, like 30+%, and then we repeat this 3 times. So if you have one oscillator, it's like this. It's already almost a super saw, and then 3 times, and you're there. The super saw of the JP8000 also has this noise element to it, so we'll add some white noise. It's quite subtle, and then it's a matter of playing with the filter and it's pure trance. And with all these modulation options, it's also very fun and easy to create all kinds of interesting sound effects. In this case, it's one LFO that is going quite slow, so it's ramping up and then slowly dropping again. And because it's modeling so many things, it's quite interesting. So let's see. I modulate the oscillator distortion amount. I modulate the reverb mix. So that means that when it starts dropping, the reverb is opening. So it's getting this effect of going into the distance. What I'm also modulating is the oscillator 1 pitch, but in a negative way. So first the pitch will drop down quite fast, and then it will start rising again really slow. I'm doing the same with oscillator 2, and then the frequency morph of oscillator 2 is modulated as well at the same time. So all these parameters are changing at the same time according to this LFO, and the effect is getting this sound that kind of decelerates very quickly and then rises very slowly and goes off into the distance. It's just one of the first things I came up with when I started looking at all the possible things I could modulate. And actually, the only limit here is your imagination. Just, you can easily try out things, drag and drop, or use the matrix here to set up all kinds of modulations. They can go positive or negative, so anything is possible. So in conclusion, with the basic free version of this plugin already being so powerful and versatile, it's almost a no-brainer. Just download it and check it out and go have some fun with it. It's a really great piece of software. Kudos to the developers. And that's it for today. One more. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.